heart, one soul. We Sisters of Sacred Heart Monastery of Richardton, North Dakota, embrace this call, a call to live in community, a call to seek God in and with that community, a call not to be cut off or removed from family and society, but to be connected to all creation through a unique relationship with God and with our sisters. As Benedictines, we have heard God's call in our lives. We aspire to answer Him daily, as well as to continue to listen to the new call each day brings.
I was surprised to find that I felt more and more at home, that indeed I did have a monastic heart, and this is what energizes me.
As you grow closer to God and seek to understand His calling, you may find yourself wanting more. The Benedictine Sisters of Sacred Heart Monastery invite you to walk with us for a time in your spiritual journey to discover how much more God has to offer you. We know God's voice is not always easy to hear. Our community of caring sisters can help you hear God's still small voice and discern your calling.
I had a really good career and had done a lot of preparation to have a good career, make a good income and all that. But there was something missing. It was like this feeling inside of me that was saying that I was being asked to do something different. And it wasn't until I came here for a visit that I was able to kind of start thinking that this was where I was supposed to be.
If you've never visited Sacred Heart Monastery, you're in for more than you probably expect, including wind turbines and llamas. In keeping with the Benedictine tradition of frugal living and intelligent, meaningful labor, we've installed wind turbines that generate a significant portion of the electricity we use. We also raise llamas for income, both from breeding and from their fine wool. They also make great pets. But wind turbines and llamas are the small surprises. You may be even more surprised by the home-like atmosphere of Sacred Heart Monastery.
I had the image that the sisters were really kind of sheltered from the rest of society. And what I have found since I've been here is that the women here are very wise and have a lot to teach me, especially with how to live this monastic life. And the wisdom of especially the older sisters has caught me by surprise.
We can only guess what kind of images the word monastery conjures for some of our guests, but we always enjoy their expressions of delight when they discover that what they have really come to is our home, and that they are sharing in our family life. It is that kind of experience we are now inviting you to share with us at Sacred Heart Monastery.
I made vows in 1965, and in 1980 was our sesquimillennium when we really started to steep ourselves in what things monastic are. And I was free to study at that time and pursued a master's in Christian spirituality, and came to realize how at home I was in the concept of monasticism, of rooting oneself in a community with a regular rhythm of prayer and relationship to one another, and coming to know the monastic call as Benedictine rule guides us.
Why would thousands of men and women over the past 15 centuries choose the monastic life? What draws ordinary women into this extraordinary way of life? We can begin to answer these questions by looking at the spirituality of the Benedictines, which emerges from the rule that guides our daily lives, the rule of Saint Benedict. It is revealed in several aspects of the Benedictine's life, each a reflection of our reverence for God. First, community. In community, we become aware of our connection to God, to one another, and to ourselves. We are at home with one another and at home with God, supported and encouraged like family, with reverence toward each other and all people.
Living in community with a variety of women really takes a lot of work. It's a challenge, and I hadn't thought of that.
We Benedictines also highly value prayer. We seek God in all we do, strive to make our whole lives a prayer of reverence to Him. Prayer is the sustaining force in the personal and communal lives of those who follow the rule of Saint Benedict.
God has called me as a monastic to a deeper prayer life, and I think through that prayer life I'm able to minister. Part of our work as Benedictines, as monastics, is prayer, and so I think putting that all together with the work that I do makes me more effective in my ministry.
Today's society often fails to recognize the sacredness of creation. As Benedictines, we respond to this deficiency by practicing and encouraging thoughtful stewardship of and reverence toward the environment. Our wind turbines are but one example of this kind of stewardship. Work plays an important role in Benedictine life. We support ourselves by the work of our own hands, hearts, and minds. Our goal is for each individual's talents to be directed toward blessing the community so that we may become co-creators with God. Examples of our work include teaching, pastoral care, counseling, caring for the elderly, and conducting spiritual retreats. As Benedictines, we enjoy a balanced life, which includes time for daily recreation. Another aspect of life often undervalued by modern culture, but which Benedictines insist upon, is stability. Stability nurtures a sense of belonging and anchors us, giving us a sense of home that we can share with others.
I have really appreciated the rootedness that I feel, whereas some of those people are now ready to see the world, and yeah, it's a nice world, but I'm happy where I am.
Extending our sense of home to others by practicing hospitality is another core Benedictine value. Hospitality of the heart fills our world with potential friends and brings our own sense of home to others when we receive all as Christ. We host many individual guests throughout the year, as well as a number of group retreats and other events, all designed to bring people closer to God. The first word in the rule of Saint Benedict, and the final word in our exploration of Benedictine living, is listen. To listen is to revere the Word of God in all its contexts, with our ears and with our hearts. The Sisters of Sacred Heart Monastery invite you to listen with us. We can't tell you if God is calling you to join this great tradition of women in community, but we know God is calling you, as He calls us all to greater intimacy with Him. We invite you to spend time with us listening to that call. After you have come to know us and to know more about the life we live for God, you may wish to begin your journey toward this calling. Your profession, education, and gifts are welcomed in our Benedictine way of life.
What attracted me to Sacred Heart Monastery was God's compelling call to me. I see this call as a wonderful learning experience and a wonderful situation where in my past I've seen God call me, and this was a definite call that is an environment of beauty and a sense of quiet, which is very much an entree to hearing God's voice. It's a very great blessing to be here at Sacred Heart Monastery.
We invite you to contact us to arrange a visit or a personal retreat, or to learn about upcoming events in which you may wish to participate. With confidence that Christ has called you to follow Him, we offer you a place and an experience that can help you hear him speak to your heart. Sacred Heart Monastery.